The dress lay across the marble counter like something out of a magazine. Real silk, hand-beaded, the kind of gown people post on Instagram with captions like, "Blessed." Anna held it with careful fingers, her calloused thumbs tracing the hem. She wore a faded denim jacket and old sneakers that squeaked on the polished floor. To anyone walking in, she looked like what she was pretending to be, a broke seamstress doing side work in a rich girl's condo. "Hey!" Brianna's heels clicked hard on the floor as she stormed in. Perfect makeup, designer loungewear, phone in hand. Her eyes narrowed the second she saw the dress in Anna's hands. "What did I tell you about touching my stuff?" Brianna snapped. "You don't just grab my clothes like you own the place." Anna flinched and bowed her head. "I'm so sorry, sweetheart. It was lying in the laundry basket. I thought it needed to be cleaned. I hand-washed it for you." Brianna froze. Then she laughed. But there was nothing funny in it. "You washed it." She held up the dress like it was contaminated. "Lady, this is real silk. Dry clean only. You just ruined a $4,000 gown." Jason, Anna's son, walked in from the hallway, still fixing his tie. He saw the dress, saw his mother's wet hands, and his face went pale. "Mom, tell me you didn't wash that." Anna tried to smile. "I just wanted to help. It'll still look pretty, right?" Brianna scoffed. "And now what? I'm supposed to show up looking busted because your mommy decided to play housekeeper?" Jason swallowed hard, caught between them. "Mom, you should have asked. This isn't your place." Anna's eyes glossed over, but she nodded quickly. "You're right. I messed up." Pause. "How about this? I'll buy you another one." Brianna barked to laugh. "With what?" "Those thrift store sneakers?" Anna reached into her worn purse and pulled out a simple bank card. The plastic was old, the numbers slightly faded. "I sold my little house back home," she said gently. "And the sewing shop. There's money here. It's for you two, for your wedding. I don't need much." Brianna snatched the card, turning it over like it might bite her. "You sold your house and your shop." "For us?" Anna nodded. "Your love is worth more than any walls I sleep under." Brianna smirked. "Cute speech, but just so you know, a dress isn't enough. I want a car and a place with our own name on the deed. If there's no car or house, there's no wedding." Jason didn't say a word. He just looked at his mother like he wished she'd disappear. Anna's fingers trembled around the empty space where her card had been. Soft, breaking. "Okay," she whispered. "Mom will figure it out. If this story already hits close to home, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share so more people can hear it. Now, let's see just how far this poor seamstress will go." Anna left her son's condo building with a plastic grocery bag and a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. The security guard nodded at her like she was invisible. She was good at that. At shrinking herself, at looking like just another tired woman with nothing in her pockets but lint and receipts. Out on the street, the city hummed. Cars, horns, sirens, somebody arguing on FaceTime. Anna's cheap sneakers slapped the sidewalk as she turned the corner toward a tiny strip of old shops squeezed between a pharmacy and a vape store. The sign above the door was faded, roses, alterations, and repairs. Inside, it smelled like fabric, steam, and memories. Behind the counter, a woman in her late 50s hunched over a sewing machine, silver hair pulled into a messy bun. Her hands moved fast, stitching life back into a pair of torn jeans. "Mom?" Anna held up the ruined silk dress, now wrinkled and slightly warped. "Could you fix this? I made a mistake." Rosa looked up, wiped her glasses on her shirt and let out a low whistle. "This isn't a dress, honey. This is a mortgage payment." Anna laughed softly. "Yeah, my future daughter-in-law would agree with you." Rosa took the dress, running expert fingers over the fabric. "The fibers are stressed, but not dead. I can't make it brand new, but I can make it believable." She winked. "That's what life is most days anyway." A few minutes later, the bell over the door jingled. A teenage girl with curly hair and a backpack stepped in, chewing gum. "Mom, you got DoorDash?" the girl asked, then saw Anna. Her eyes brightened. "Oh, you're pretty. Are you married?" Anna chuckled. "I'm complicated." "I feel that," the girl said. "I'm Tessa. My dad's single, works construction, good guy, terrible fashion. You two should totally meet." Rosa shot her daughter a look. "Tess, stop. Not everyone wants to be set up." "Why not?" Tessa shrugged. "Love is expensive. Talking is free." Anna hesitated. "Your father, he really works construction." Tessa nodded. "Since forever. Always comes home dusty, always pays the bills. He's not fancy, but he's solid. You'd like him?" Rosa sighed. She's been trying to find him a partner since middle school. Poor man doesn't even know. Anna's smile faded for a second as her mind drifted back to Jason and Brianna, to the way they'd looked at her like she was a burden dressed in thrift store fabric. "Maybe," Anna whispered, surprising even herself, "maybe it wouldn't hurt to talk." Tessa grinned like she'd won the lottery. "Say less, I'll text him." "You two can meet here." Pause. An hour later, the shop door opened again. A man stepped in, broad shoulders, worn boots, jeans with real dirt on them, hard hat tucked under his arm, a little rough, a little tired. Hi," he said, awkward. "I'm Luis." "Tessa said someone here needed, pants fixed." Anna blinked. This was the construction worker who would change everything. Luis stood there looking like he wasn't sure if he'd walked into a sewing shop or a prank. His boots left little trails of dried mud on the floor, and his t-shirt had that sun-faded look that comes from long days outdoors. Still, there was something calm about him, solid. Anna stepped forward hesitantly. "I'm Anna, and I think your daughter tricked us both." Luis scratched the back of his neck. "Yeah, she does that. Girl thinks she's Cupid." He lifted his hard hat awkwardly. "She said you needed help with pants." Anna's cheeks warmed. "Oh no, not me. She meant your pants. They're ripped." Luis looked down. A long tear ran across his thigh. He groaned. "Man," I leaned against a steel beam and it caught. Didn't even feel it. Rosa laughed. "You construction guys don't feel anything until payday." Luis shrugged. "Pretty much." Anna smiled, easing into the moment. "If you want, I can fix them. I used to sew for a living." "You?" Luis blinked, surprised. "But—" He stopped himself. "Sorry, didn't mean that rude. Just, you don't look like someone who needs to patch pants." Anna lowered her eyes. "Life changes what we look like." Luis nodded slowly, respectfully. "Yeah, fair enough." They moved into the back room where the sewing machine sat humming softly. Anna pinned the torn fabric while Luis sat on a wooden stool, hands folded, posture straight like he was afraid to touch anything. "You know," he said quietly, "Tessa told me you're here in the city for your son." Anna hummed. "He's getting engaged." "That's good," Luis said. "Family growing." She paused, needle hovering mid-air. "Sometimes growing hurts." Luis studied her face. "You look like someone carrying too much on her back." Anna laughed, a small, tired sound. "And you look like someone who's held up more buildings than people." Luis grinned. "Most days, yeah." The moment settled into something warm. Safe. West. Anna hadn't felt safe in a long time, not in her son's house, not in her own skin. But here, with a stranger in torn jeans and dusty boots, she didn't feel small. Rosa peeked in. "Pants are almost done, loves." And Anna, nice work. "You still got magic in your hands." Anna nodded, but before she could speak, the door to the shop jolted open. Brianna. Perfect hair. "Oh my God," she hissed, stepping inside like the floor was contaminated. "Jason and I have been calling you. Why'd you leave?" Anna froze. Brianna cut her off. "And who is this?" She eyed Luis like he was mold growing on her designer shoes. "Really, Anna? You're out here flirting with this?" Luis straightened, jaw tightening. Anna whispered, "He's just helping." Brianna scoffed. You can't even afford your own place, and now you're hanging out in some crusty repair shop with a broke construction guy? The room fell silent. Too silent. The kind that comes before an earthquake. Because Brianna had no idea who she had just insulted, and neither did Anna. Luis stood up slowly, brushing dust off his jeans, not angry, but steady in a way that made the whole room shift. He didn't glare. He didn't raise his voice. He just looked at Brianna like he'd seen 1,000 people like her and outlived every one of them. Ma'am, he said calmly, I'm just here to fix a tear in my pants, nothing more. Brianna rolled her eyes. Cute, really. And you, she snapped at Anna, are supposed to be preparing for my engagement party. Not playing dress-up in poverty daycare. Anna's shoulders folded in like she wanted to disappear. Louise stepped slightly in front of her without thinking. You don't talk to her like that. Brianna's jaw dropped. Excuse me? Excused, Louise said, voice level. Now stop. Rosa almost choked on a laugh and pretended to busy herself with spools of thread. Brianna flicked her hair back with a fake laugh. Oh, please, do you even know who you're talking to? Jason's fiancée, his future wife. Which means I get a say in who his mother hangs around, especially some dusty construction worker with Walmart boots. Anna whispered. Brianna, don't. No, Mum, Brianna sneered, stressing the word like it tasted bad. You need to hear this. You're out here embarrassing us. You ruined my dress this morning and now you're hiding in this dump with people who can't even afford dry cleaning. Tessa, who'd been in the doorway listening, stepped forward, eyebrows raised. Hey, chill. No one here is begging you to be royalty. Your attitude's louder than your lashes, Luis exhaled slowly. Okay, that's enough. He turned to Anna gently. You okay? Anna tried to smile, but the tremble in her lips betrayed her. I'm fine. Luis shook his head. You don't look fine. Brianna let out a mocking snort. Oh, look, he's protecting her, like a stray dog guarding another stray dog. That did it. Something flicked in Louis's eyes, not anger, not pride, just a line being crossed after a lifetime of holding it. He stepped forward, not threatening, but firm. Lady, you don't know the first thing about this woman. If you did, you'd treat her with respect. Brianna laughed sharply. Respect? She's poor. She's old. She's useless. She can't give us anything. Anna flinched. Hard. Louis swallowed, the muscle in his jaw tightening. Money doesn't make you worth something, and having none doesn't make you nothing. Brianna scoffed. Yeah? Says who? Louis opened his mouth. Then his phone buzzed. A message from an unknown contact popped up on the screen. Sherman, your car is ready. Deliver any time. Rosa saw it. Her face drained, but she said nothing. Anna didn't see the screen at all, and neither did Brianna, the woman who had just insulted the one man in the city she should never have messed with. 2 days later, Anna walked into the luxury auto dealership with tired eyes and a quiet, shaky hope. She wasn't dressed like the people browsing inside. No designer bags, no shiny heels, no diamonds. Just her old sweater and the gentle way she held her purse like it contained her whole world. She wasn't here for herself. She was here for Jason, for Brianna, for peace. Luis had offered to come with her, but she told him no. She still believed she had to fix the damage on her own. The showroom glowed with polished floors and spotless chrome. A saleswoman in a red blazer looked her up and down and instantly forced a tight smile. Mom, the used cars are 2 blocks down. Anna blinked. Oh, I'm here to ask about a Mayfield sedan. The saleswoman's smile cracked. That model starts at 80 grand. I know, Anna said softly. I want to see it. The woman sighed and waved her over, heels clicking with annoyance. Follow me. They passed a couple taking selfies in front of a sports car, 2 businessmen whispering over options, and a teenage boy whose parents clearly made too much money. Anna stopped in front of a sleek silver sedan, simple, clean, beautiful. Is this one? Anna swallowed. Reliable. It's reliable, the woman said flatly, and expensive. Can I? Pay in full. The saleswoman actually laughed. Sure, and I'm Beyoncé. Anna gently pulled out her worn little debit card. The woman rolled her eyes. Mum, this is a high-end dealership. We don't do pity swipes here. Anna didn't argue. She just held the card a little tighter. I sold everything I owned, she whispered, for my son's future. Before the saleswoman could respond, the showroom doors slammed open. Brianna strutted inside, sunglasses on, acrylic nails tapping her phone. Jason followed behind like a shadow. There you are. Brianna snapped the moment she spotted Anna. I told you to meet us here an hour ago. I was looking at the car you wanted, Brianna scoffed. You? Looking at a Mayfield? Oh, that's rich. Jason rubbed his temples. Mom, can we please not make a scene? The saleswoman, now energized by their expensive-looking presents, turned bubbly. Welcome. Are you interested in our premium line? Brianna pointed at the sleek black luxury model in the center. That one. The $1 million model. Anna's chest sank. 1 million? Her life savings couldn't touch that. Brianna turned to Anna, sweetly fake sweet. Don't worry, Mom. You already ruined my dress. Least you can do is make up for it with a decent car. The saleswoman's eyes sparkled cruelly. Yes, Mom. Can she afford this? Anna opened her mouth, but nothing came out. Her hands shook. Her legs wobbled. She whispered, I only wanted to help. Brianna rolled her eyes. Well, you failed. Again. The saleswoman laughed under her breath. Some people really need to learn their place. And that's when the dealership doors opened again. Luis stepped in, boots dusty, shirt simple, expression unreadable. But the second the manager saw him, he went pale. Chairman? Anna froze, Brianna froze, Jason froze. Luis nodded once. Bring me the car my wife chose, he said calmly. The whole dealership went silent. Wife? Not Anna. But someone very, very close to her. The air inside the dealership suddenly felt different, tight, buzzing, like everyone had just realized they were standing way too close to a live electrical wire. Luis walked across the polished floor with the quiet confidence of someone who didn't need flashy clothes to prove anything. His boots made soft thuds, completely out of place among the clicking heels and shiny loafers, but somehow louder than all of it. Anna stared at him, stunned. Chairman, she whispered. Luis met her eyes gently. I was going to tell you, Anna. I just didn't want a title to change the way you saw me. Brianna's jaw nearly hit the marble floor. Wait, you're the chairman? Wait. The richest man in the district? Before Luis could answer, the dealership manager rushed forward, practically tripping over himself. Sir, we didn't know she was with you. We deeply apologize for. Luis raised one hand. He didn't yell. He didn't need to. Where is the staff member who insulted her? He asked. His tone was calm, too calm, too calm. Sir, I didn't mean... You looked at a good woman and treated her like she was dirt, Luis said quietly. That tells me everything I need to know about your character. The manager bowed his head. She's fired, immediately. Anna gasped. No, please. I don't want anyone to lose their job because of me. Luis turned to her, softening. People who kick the powerless don't deserve power. You deserve respect, Anna. Always. Brianna cleared her throat loudly, plastering on a fake smile. Chairman Luis, sir, I'm so sorry about earlier. I didn't know she... Well, I mean, you know how it is. Luis turned slowly, his expression unreadable. No, I don't know. Jason stepped forward, voice shaky. Sir, she didn't mean anything. My mom's just old-fashioned, I guess. Luis raised an eyebrow. Loving your mother is old-fashioned. Jason flinched. Hard. Anna touched Luis's arm gently. Please, don't cause trouble on my account. He looked at her for a long moment. Then he exhaled. For her, only for her. He eased up. No more punishment, but one thing stays clear. He turned toward Brianna, who visibly shrank. You will never speak to Anna like that again. Brianna forced a shaky laugh. Of course, sir. Absolutely. You have my word, totally my word. The dealership doors slid open behind them, and 3 workers rolled in a gleaming silver Mayfield sedan, its paint shining like liquid metal. This, Louise said quietly, is the car my wife chose. Anna blinked. W? Yes, he said softly. My wife, the one I'm going to propose to properly as soon as she's ready. The room went dead silent. Then Brianna whispered, horrified, Wait, you're marrying her! The seamstress! Jason looked like his whole world had just flipped upside down. And Anna, sweet, humble Anna, could only whisper one breathless word. Why? Louis smiled gently. Because you're the only person who ever saw me as someone before seeing me as something. Anna had barely processed Louise's words when her phone buzzed. A text from Jason. Mom, hurry, engagement rehearsal starts in 20 minutes. Her heart tightened. She whispered to Louise, I still need to go. It's his big day. Louise nodded gently. Then I'll drive you. Brianna's face twitched. Drive her. In that car? She'll scratch the seats with her thrift store clothes. Louise didn't bother replying. He simply walked Anna to the Mayfield sedan, opened the passenger door with care and said, After you, sweetheart. Brianna nearly combusted. But when Anna and Louis walked in, holding a respectful distance between them, the room froze like someone hit pause on reality. Jason spotted his mother first. Mom, where were you? Brianna's been freaking out. Brianna strutted over, arms crossed. Yeah, well, if she wants to be part of this family, she needs to learn to follow directions. Louise raised an eyebrow. Interesting requirement. Jason finally noticed him. His eyes widened. Sir, what are you doing here? Before Louise could speak, Brianna jumped in. Chairman Louis personally escorted your mother because she can't find her way in a simple hotel. Isn't he sweet? Anna blinked slowly. She'd never heard someone turn kindness into an insult before meeting Brianna. The event coordinator clapped her hands. Everyone, take your places. The engagement rehearsal starts now. Jason and Brianna walked to the center of the ballroom. Anna stood near the crowd, quietly trying to be small. But Brianna wasn't done humiliating her. Actually, she called loudly, before we start, your mother should offer the traditional tea. Anna felt the floor tilt. I didn't bring any. Brianna smiled coldly. Well, that's your fault, isn't it? Traditions matter, unless you don't care about your son looking good in front of my family, people murmured. Jason shifted uncomfortably but didn't defend her. Anna bowed her head. I'll get tea. She reached for a nearby pot, hands trembling, but Louis stepped forward, firm, calm, unshakable. That won't be necessary, Brianna blinked. Excuse me? This is a family ritual. You can't just… Louise smiled politely. But his eyes? Ice. Actually, he said, you can't speak to Anna that way, not anymore. The room fell silent. Brianna scoffed. And who are you to say that? This is our engagement. Louise stepped closer, voice low but carrying across the ballroom. I'm the man who's going to marry her. Gasps rippled like waves crashing. Jason's mouth fell open. Brianna's face twisted like she'd bitten a lemon. Anna whispered, barely audible, Louis? He reached for her hand gently. As long as I'm here, he said, no one gets to belittle you, not even your son's fiancée. The coordinator's papers fell from her hands. No one moved. No one spoke. Not until Brianna exploded. She's marrying Y.O.U. Brianna's scream echoed through the ballroom like a fire alarm. Heads turned, whispers rose, and Jason looked like he wanted to crawl under the nearest table. She's marrying you, Brianna shrieked, pointing at Anna like she was pointing at a crime scene. Her? The woman who wears yard sale sweaters and washes silk dresses in the sink? Anna froze, cheeks burning. She wished she could melt into the marble. Louise stepped slightly in front of her, voice calm. "You will lower your voice." Brianna laughed, high and sharp. "Oh, please. You think you can talk down to me? My family is partnering with the Lin Group. We're about to land a $50 million project." Louise lifted one brow. "Are you?" Jason blinked. We are. Assistant Guy told us." "Assistant Guy works for me," Louise said, tone smooth as steel. "And I didn't approve a partnership with your family." Silence. Thick. Suffocating. Wait, what?" Louise looked at her, and his expression wasn't angry. It was exhausted. "You insult people you think are beneath you. You aim your cruelty at easy targets, and you believe money gives you the right to demean others." He folded his hands behind his back. "That's not someone I choose to do business with." The hotel held its breath. Brianna sputtered like a broken engine. "You can't just cancel it. Jason, say something." Jason swallowed. "Chairman Lewis, maybe we can reconsider. My mom." "She didn't mean anything by." Lewis turned his gaze on Jason. "Did you defend her?" Jason flinched. Well, I didn't want to cause a scene." "You let one happen," Lewis said simply, "at her expense." Anna tugged Louis's sleeve. "Please, don't make this worse for him." Louis softened when he looked at her. "I can't stand by while you're mistreated." Before Anna could answer, Brianna marched forward, heels stabbing the marble. "So this is what this is really about, your weird obsession with my future mother-in-law. You think she's some delicate flower? Newsflash, she's poor, she's clingy. She ruined my engagement dress." Louise's eyes went cold. "Enough." But Brianna wasn't listening. She was spiraling. "And for what? She gives you nothing. She is nothing. She can't even help her own son unless she sells her whole life for scraps." That did it. Anna's knees buckled. Louise caught her before she hit the floor. Gasps rippled. She just watched, arms folded. Louise brushed a tear from Anna's cheek. "You are not nothing," he whispered. "Not to me, not ever." Anna broke quietly, painfully, like a woman who'd held her breath for years. Then a voice cut through the room, sharp, furious, and female. "What is going on here?" Everyone turned toward the entrance. Assistant Guy stood there, breathless, holding a folder. But he wasn't looking at Louis. He was staring at Anna. "Madam, your documents, the ones you requested." Anna blinked through tears. "Documents." Guy lowered his voice respectfully. "The ownership papers for the Lin Group estates, the ones under your name. I came as fast as I could." The room exploded in gasps. Anna, quiet, humble Anna, owned everything. Brianna staggered back. Jason's face drained of color. Louise smiled faintly. "It's time they know who you really are." The entire ballroom froze, forks midair, music strangled silent, whispers dying in throats. Even the chandeliers seemed to hold still as Assistant Guy handed Anna a thick envelope with both hands, head bowed like she was royalty. Anna stared at the papers, confused. "Guy, I didn't request anything." "Yes, madam," he said softly, "but Chairman Lewis insisted the truth be placed in your hands before anyone disrespected you again." Brianna looked like she'd swallowed a cactus. Wait, hold up." "Madam?" "Madam who?" Lewis stepped beside Anna, speaking clearly so the whole room could hear. "Anna is not just my fiancée. And she's not just a seamstress." He paused, letting the weight settle. "She's the legal co-owner of the Lin Group estates. Everything I own, she owns." A wave rolled through the crowd, gasps, murmurs, someone dropping their phone. Anna shook her head. "Louise, I didn't ask for this. I didn't want power." Louise touched her hand gently. "I know. That's why you deserve it." Jason looked like reality had punched him in the chest. Mum, you own the Lin Group. You never told me that." Anna's voice broke. Because I wanted you to build your own life, not treat me differently because of money. Brianna's jaw unhinged. She slowly turned toward Jason, panic keening in her eyes. Jason, tell me this is some prank. She's poor. She's nobody. Louisa's gaze hardened. She was nobody to you because you chose to see her that way. Jason stepped forward, desperation clawing at his voice. Mom, I didn't know. If I had known. Anna finally lifted her head. Her eyes weren't teary anymore. They were steady, tired, but steady. So if I was rich, you'd treat me better? She asked quietly. He opened his mouth. Nobody missed that tiny hesitation, that half-second pause where truth lived. And Anna saw it, all of it. She nodded slowly. I understand now. Louise placed a supportive hand on her back. Assistant Guy cleared his throat. One more thing, madam. The chairman asked me to bring the car title as well. He handed her a slim folder. Inside was the title to the silver Mayfield sedan, in her name. Brianna's expression twisted. Oh, come on, she probably forged something. Why would a chairman give all that to her? Louise looked directly at her. Because she showed me kindness when I was dressed like a worker. She never asked for anything. She treated me like a man, not a wallet. He stepped closer, voice lowering. And people who can't even show basic human decency, I wouldn't give them a used tire. Brianna's cheeks flushed furious red. This is insane. Jason, stop standing there like a scarecrow and do something. Jason swallowed hard. Bri, maybe we should calm down. Oh, now, you want to calm down, she snapped. Your mother's been lying about who she is, Anna corrected gently. I wasn't lying. I was simply living without performing. The crowd hummed. People nodding, some whispering, all watching Brianna unravel. She pointed at Anna with shaking fury. This isn't fair. She gets everything, money, houses, cars, just because she's marrying him. Louise stepped beside Anna. She gets everything, he said firmly, because she earned respect long before she ever met me. Brianna laughed bitterly. Well, if she's so powerful now, what about our engagement? Still happening? Anna inhaled deeply, finally straightening her spine. No, she said quietly, your engagement is cancelled. The room erupted. And Jason? For the first time, didn't argue. For a moment the ballroom seemed to tilt. The music stopped, the chatter died, and Jason stood pale as chalk, frozen somewhere between shame and shock. Brianna snapped around, eyes wide. See, cancelled, cancelled. See, cancelled. By who? You can't cancel my engagement. Anna didn't raise her voice. She didn't need to. Years of being stepped on had carved a quiet strength into her. I won't allow my son to marry someone who humiliates others for sport, she said softly. Someone who disrespects people based on what they wear or earn. Brianna's mouth twisted. Oh, please. You're just jealous because I have standards, Louise chuckled under his breath. You have something, but it's not standards. Laughter rippled through the crowd. Brianna whipped her head around, glaring at anyone who dared show teeth. Jason finally spoke, voice small. Mom, you didn't have to do this. Anna turned to him, her expression so gentle it hurt. I didn't cancel your engagement to punish you, sweetheart. I'm doing it to save you. Jason blinked. Save me from what? From a marriage built on shame, Anna whispered. From a lifetime with someone who only values money and status. You deserve love, not fear of disappointing her. Jason's legs wobbled. He didn't sit, he just sank. Brianna stomped toward him. Jason, get UP. You're not really letting her ruin our future. Jason looked at her, really looked, and something cracked behind his eyes. You humiliated my mom, he said quietly. And I let you treat her like trash because I thought you were my future. Brianna folded her arms. I am your future. He shook his head. No. You were my mistake, the crowd gasped. Even Luis raised an eyebrow. Brianna froze, stunned into silence for the first time since entering the story. Jason swallowed hard. Mom, I'm sorry for everything. I should have defended you every time she talked down to you. I should have stood up for you this morning, at the dealership, at the condo, everywhere. Anna trembled, tears rising, but they weren't sad. They were the kind of tears you cry when someone finally sees you. She touched his cheek. I forgive you, baby. Brianna scoffed loudly. Oh, please, don't fall for her pity tricks. She's not even your real mom as she hid all this. Louis stepped forward. She didn't hide power, she hid pain. But Anna shook her head softly. No, she's right about one thing. Jason turned sharply. Mom? Anna inhaled deeply. Yeah. I'm not your biological mother. The ballroom exploded into stunned murmurs. Jason stumbled back as if the floor gave out from under him. Mom, what are you talking about? Anna clasped her trembling hands. Jason, years ago, something happened. Something I never had the courage to tell you. Luis moved closer, gently squeezing her shoulder. You lost your daughter, he whispered for her. You lost your daughter, he whispered for her. And gained a son. Anna nodded, tears sliding down. I adopted you when my own little girl went missing. I didn't replace her. I just couldn't lose another child. Jason's face twisted. Shock, disbelief, all tangled together. Why didn't you tell me? Because I didn't want you to love me out of obligation, Anna whispered. I wanted you to choose me with your heart. And then, from the far end of the ballroom, a soft gasp echoed. A young woman with trembling hands stepped forward. Mom! Anna froze. Her breath hitched. Her knees buckled. Because the face looking back at her was the same face she lost years ago. The sound was so soft, so fragile, that half the ballroom didn't even notice it. Her whole body stilled. Her breath caught in her throat. Her hands trembled like they were remembering something her mind hadn't yet processed. Across the ballroom, a young woman stood near the entrance. Dark hair pulled into a loose ponytail, eyes glossy with tears, fingers curled nervously against her chest. She looked 20-something, about the age Anna's daughter would have been. Mum, the girl whispered again, is it really you? Anna's purse slipped from her hand and hit the floor with a dull thud. She didn't even blink. The girl stepped closer. Every step cracked Anna's heart open a little more. Luis touched Anna's elbow, steadying her. Anna, he breathed, is she? Anna couldn't speak. She just nodded, slowly, disbelievingly, as tears began pouring down her cheeks, hot and unstoppable. Jason stared between them, stunned. Who is she? The young woman pressed a trembling hand over her mouth. I didn't know if I'd ever find you again. I've been searching for years. Then Assistant Guy contacted me. I didn't believe it until I saw you. She reached into her bag with shaking fingers and pulled out a small gold pendant on a broken chain. Anna gasped, her knees buckled. Luis caught her again. My baby girl, Anna whispered, voice cracking. That necklace, I put it around your neck the day you were born. And I never took it off, not once. I kept it even when everything else faded. Jason blinked rapidly, overwhelmed. Mom, this is your daughter. Anna nodded through tears. My real daughter, my Shia. Shia ran the last few steps and Anna collapsed into her arms, hugging her so tightly it looked like she feared the world might snatch her away again. They sobbed together, raw, trembling, years of sorrow dissolving into each other's shoulders. The ballroom fell silent. Even Brianna, who'd been ready to unleash another insult, lowered her hand slowly, her face slack with shock. Luis stood quietly behind Anna, emotion flickering across his normally composed eyes. She's home, he whispered. Jason swallowed hard. So, I'm not your blood, but you still raised me? Anna turned to him, wiping tears with trembling fingers. With her other hand, she kept hold of Shea like she'd never let go again. You are my son, Anna said firmly, voice breaking but steady. Blood didn't make us a family, love did. Jason's eyes filled. He dropped to his knees in front of her. I'm so sorry, he choked. For everything. For letting people disrespect you, for not appreciating you, for not knowing your worth sooner. Anna cupped his face. Get up, sweetheart. I didn't raise you to kneel. Shea placed a gentle hand on Jason's shoulder. I don't want to take your place, she said softly. I just want to be part of our family too. Jason nodded, wiping his eyes. We can both be her kids. Anna pulled them both into her arms, one on each side, and the crowd softened, sniffled, some even clapped quietly. But then, a sharp voice cut through the moment like a knife. Oh, please, are we done with the family reunion? I have an engagement to fix. Brianna. Hands on her hips, face twisted with pure disdain. The reunion wasn't over, the story wasn't done. Because Brianna had just declared war. Every warm breath in the ballroom froze again. Brianna's voice sliced through the air like broken glass. She stomped forward, arms crossed, chin lifted like she was starring in some reality show meltdown. Seriously? Can we get back to the engagement that YOU? She jabbed a finger at Anna, completely ruined. Louis stepped forward, but Anna gently touched his arm. She didn't want someone else to fight this battle for her anymore. No, Louis, she whispered, let me handle her. He held her gaze for a long moment, then nodded and stepped back. Anna turned to Brianna. Her posture didn't shake anymore. Her voice didn't tremble. She stood tall, steadier than she had been in years, with her daughter on one side and her son on the other. What do you want, Brianna? Anna asked quietly. What do I want? Brianna laughed. How about my engagement back, my reputation back, my future back? You think just because you found some lost daughter and caught a rich husband you get to tear my life apart? Anna didn't blink. You tore your own life apart with your choices. The crowd murmured. Someone whispered, she's right. Brianna scoffed. Oh, please, don't act righteous now. You're nothing. You are hiding your money. Why? Because you liked pretending to be poor. Playing dress-up as some tragic seamstress? Anna's expression softened, almost heartbreakingly so. I wasn't pretending to be poor. I was living the only life I trusted. Money didn't protect me when my daughter was taken. Money didn't comfort me when I was alone. Money didn't keep my heart from breaking every night. Shea placed a hand on her mother's back, eyes wet. Jason did the same. Anna continued, voice steady and warm. I hid my wealth because I wanted to be valued for who I was, not what I could buy. Louise murmured. That's why I fell in love with you. The room softened again, but Brianna threw her hands up. Ugh, enough with the Hallmark speeches. Jason, tell her you want to marry me. Tell her to stop ruining this. Jason slowly looked at her. Then he shook his head. No, Brianna, I'm done choosing you over my mother. Brianna's jaw dropped. Excuse me? You humiliated her, Jason said, voice steadier than before. You insulted Louis. You trashed a woman you didn't even know. You acted like you're above everyone. That's not someone I want to build a life with. The crowd hummed their agreement. Brianna stared at him like he'd betrayed the nation. So that's it? You're just cancelling everything? Anna stepped forward gently. No, Jason isn't cancelling anything. Everyone fell silent. Anna's voice softened but held steel underneath. I am. Gasps rippled across the room. Anna looked Brianna directly in the eyes. Not with hate, not with anger, but with the calm finality of someone who had survived worse storms and refused to drown again. You are not marrying my son, she said. Not now, not ever. Brianna trembled with rage. You can't do that. You're not his real mother. Jason stepped beside Anna and said quietly, "She's more of a mother than you'll ever understand." The room erupted in soft applause, small, supportive, sincere. Brianna's face twisted. "All of you." She spun on her heel, ready to storm out, but she didn't get far. Standing at the ballroom entrance was the hotel manager, flanked by security. "Miss Brianna," he said coldly, "your family has just been blacklisted by the Lin Group. Your event reservation is cancelled." And the ballroom lost its mind. The applause died instantly as the hotel manager's voice echoed across the ballroom. Brianna stopped mid-stride, shoulders tensing so hard her designer dress actually creaked. "What did you just say?" she asked, her voice sharp and cracking around the edges. The manager held a tablet in his hands, face professional but tight. Behind him, 2 security guards stood with neutral expressions, the kind that meant this wasn't a suggestion. "Per the Lin Group's directive," the manager repeated, "your family is blacklisted from all properties and partnerships. Effective immediately, your engagement reservation is cancelled." A ripple of gasps swept the room. Someone whispered, "Oh my God," another murmured, "that's the biggest blacklist in the state." Brianna blinked rapidly, mascara trembling. No, that's not possible. My dad, my family, this event costs more than most weddings." Jason sighed softly. "Bri, it's done." "No," she exploded. "No, it's not. Done until I say it's done." Security took a single step forward. Brianna immediately stepped back. But her eyes landed on Lewis, desperation replacing arrogance. "You did this," she hissed. "You ruined everything. You want my life destroyed because I insulted your little charity case?" Anna inhaled sharply. Luis's jaw flexed, but he kept calm. "I didn't ruin your life," he said. "Your choices did that. I simply refused to reward cruelty." Brianna laughed bitterly. "Oh, please, save the motivational poster speeches. You're punishing me because she's your fiancée." Luis shook his head. "No, I'm rejecting you because you treat humans like stepping stools." The room nodded in agreement. Even staff peeked from the doors, whispering. Shia stepped forward, voice small but firm. "You humiliated my mom. You insulted her, mocked her clothes, mocked her job. If you'd just apologized, really apologized, none of this needed to happen." Brianna glared. "Who even are you?" Anna answered quietly, proudly. "My daughter, my real daughter." The crowd gasped again. Brianna looked like she was stabbed with a fountain pen. "Oh, fantastic," she spat. "The Lost Princess returns and suddenly I'm the villain. This is ridiculous. I didn't do anything that bad." The room murmured hard at that. Even Jason frowned. "You burned her dignity every time you spoke," he said coldly. "You made sure she felt small." That stops now. For the first time, Brianna's bravado cracked completely. Her lip trembled, her hands shook. "Jason, you can't just throw me away." Jason stepped back. "I'm sorry, Bri." "Jason," she screamed, "you're making a mistake." Jason shook his head gently. "No, I made the mistake when I let you disrespect my mother." Brianna looked around the ballroom, searching for one sympathetic face. She found none. The manager cleared his throat. "Miss, you and your guests need to leave, now." Security stepped forward again. Brianna's rage collapsed into humiliation. She jerked away from the guards, chin trembling as tears welled. "This isn't over," she whispered to Anna. "You'll regret this." "I already regret letting you hurt me for as long as I did." Louise stepped beside her. "And we won't let it happen again." Security escorted Brianna out, her heels clacking furiously until the ballroom doors slammed shut behind her. Silence followed. Then, someone in the back started clapping. Soon, another joined. Soon, the entire ballroom was applauding Anna, not for wealth, not for power, but for finally standing up for herself. And Anna, for the first time in her life, let herself feel proud. Anna stood there in the center, Jason on her left, Shia on her right. Like the pieces of her life were finally sliding back into place after years of living out of alignment. But she was overwhelmed, and it showed. Her breath trembled as she whispered, I need a moment. Of course. He guided her toward a small lounge area off the side of the ballroom, a quieter place where the gold lights were softer and the noise felt distant. Jason ran a hand through his hair. Mum, I swear I never meant to hurt you. I didn't know. I didn't understand how much you gave up for me. Anna's eyes softened. I gave up nothing. I gained a child. You filled a part of my heart that was too empty for too long. Shia's voice cracked gently. So, you loved him like your own even before you knew if I was alive. Anna turned to her daughter, cupping her cheek. Baby, when I lost you, the world didn't stop hurting. Then Jason appeared, alone, scared, unwanted. If I didn't open my heart to him, I would have lost myself too. You saved me, Shia smiled shakily. And now, you saved me too. Anna hugged them both. Her arms weren't big enough for all the love she held, but she tried anyway. Louise leaned against the wall quietly, arms folded, watching them with warmth. Not intrusive, not demanding attention, just being present, exactly what Anna always needed. She turned to him, brushing her tears. Louise, why didn't you tell me who you were, about the company, about your wealth? He chuckled softly. Because you once told me money can't fix loneliness. And that was the first time anyone saw me as a man and not a walking bank account. Anna swallowed hard, touched. I fell for the woman in the alteration shop, he continued. The one who patched a stranger's jeans and still apologized for charging too little. Not the idea of a glamorous partner, just you. She smiled, tears slipping down again. I didn't know you saw me that way. Everyone saw you as a seamstress, Louise said. I saw you as strength in soft hands. Shia nudged Jason with a smirk. Mom's fiancé is kind of smooth. Jason groaned. Please don't say Mom's fiancé while I'm still processing she's co-owner of a whole corporation. They all laughed, the tension finally softening. But then a timid knock sounded at the lounge doorway. The event coordinator, a nervous petite woman clutching her clipboard, peeked inside. Excuse me, she whispered. I didn't want to intrude, but people are asking if the celebration is still happening. Anna blinked. Celebration? Yes, the coordinator said. The party was booked for the engagement, but now that everything has changed, we weren't sure whether to cancel or... Louis stepped forward with a small smile. No need to cancel. He took Anna's hand. Tonight, he said softly, should be about something better than an engagement that never should have happened. Anna frowned slightly. About what? Louis dropped to one knee. Anna, he said, voice warm and steady, let's turn tonight into our beginning. Her breath caught. Shia squealed. Jason's jaw dropped. And Anna whispered, trembling, Yes, yes, Louise. The coordinator gasped. Then I'll prepare the announcement. Everything was shifting in the most beautiful way. The coordinator nearly tripped over her heels, racing back into the ballroom, flailing her clipboard like she was announcing breaking news. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone, please stay seated. We have an update. Whispers ripped through the crowd. Jason whispered to Shia, Do updates usually involve my mom's fiancé kneeling in a fancy hotel? Shia shot him a grin. Chaos is our brand now. Back inside the ballroom, people settled into their seats again, buzzing with anticipation. A few guests who had been sneaking toward the exit hurried back in like they didn't want to miss a single plot twist. The coordinator cleared her throat. Everyone, the engagement event will not be continuing as originally planned. Instead, she paused for dramatic effect because, honestly, she deserved that moment. We will be celebrating the official engagement of Chairman Luis and Ms. Anna. The ballroom erupted, a wave of applause, cheers, even a few whistles from people who clearly loved romance more than protocol. Anna stepped forward slowly, Luis's hand in hers. She still looked overwhelmed, like she wasn't sure this was real, but her eyes held a soft, glowing peace. Jason walked beside her, protective and proud now, not ashamed, not hiding. Shia linked arms with her mom on the other side, one family, finally whole. Luis raised the mic, the hotel staff shoved at him. "Thank you all for staying." What? This wasn't the night any of us expected. A few chuckles scattered. He continued, "But life rarely gives us what we expect. Sometimes it gives us what we've been praying for quietly." He looked at Anna with that warm, grounding gaze. "I didn't fall in love with power or status or appearances. I fell in love with the woman who believed kindness mattered even when the world wasn't kind to her." Anna's eyes shimmered. She leaned into him slightly. Luis turned toward the crowd. "And I hope tonight everyone remembers something important. You don't measure worth by outfits, bank accounts, or titles. You measure it by how someone treats the people they don't need to impress." People nodded, some guiltily, some proudly. Anna stepped forward. Luis handed her the mic gently, like it was a precious object. She took a shaky breath. "I've spent my life trying to stay small," she said. "Trying not to be a burden. Trying not to ask for too much." She glanced at Jason. "I tried to protect my son from the world, and I forgot that I also needed to protect myself." Jason looked down, emotional. Anna reached out and squeezed his hand. "But tonight, something changed," she continued. "Tonight I saw the woman I forgot I could be, a mother, a partner, someone who deserves respect too." Shia wiped away tears. Louise watched her like she was the only person in the room. "I'm not perfect," Anna whispered, "but I am finally not afraid to be seen." The ballroom applauded loudly, real, heartfelt applause. Louise leaned in and kissed her forehead. "Then let the world see you," he murmured. They stepped together toward the center of the ballroom, where the original engagement table still stood, and the staff quickly swapped out the name cards. Guests laughed as they watched them peel off Brianna's place settings and replace them with Anna and Luis. A soft melody began playing through the speakers. Jason whispered to Anna, "Mom, can I have the first dance before Luis steals you for the rest of the night?" Anna laughed through her tears. "Of course." And as she stepped onto the dance floor with her son, her daughter watching lovingly, Luis smiling with pride, the entire ballroom realized this wasn't just a new beginning. This was Anna finally rising into the life she had always deserved. Soft music drifted through the ballroom, the kind that wraps itself around you like warm memory. Jason gently guided Anna into a slow dance, his hand trembling just enough for her to feel it. "Mom," he whispered, voice thick, "I don't deserve this moment." Anna smiled softly. "Everyone deserves a second chance, sweetheart, even mothers, even sons." He rested his forehead against hers. "Thank you for never giving up on me." Across the room, Shia watched with her heart full, arms crossed, chin trembling with pride. She had lost years, but she hadn't lost her mother's love, and that mattered more than all the time in the world. Louise approached Shia quietly. "May I steal your mom after this dance?" Shia smirked. "Only if you promise to make her happier than she's ever been." Louise placed a hand over his heart. "That's been my promise since the day she mended my pants." They shared a light laugh, warm, surprising, honest. When Jason finally stepped back, he kissed Anna's hand and whispered, "Go dance with him. He's been waiting." Anna turned, and Louis was already reaching out for her. In that quiet, steady way he did everything. She stepped into his arms like she'd been walking toward that moment for years without realizing it. The ballroom dimmed slightly as the spotlight settled on the two of them. Guests watched with softened expressions, some teary, some smiling, some whispering. They look meant to be. Louise held her close, one hand at her waist, the other curled around her fingers. You doing okay? He murmured. Anna nodded. I'm overwhelmed. But in a good way. I'm glad. Luis pressed his forehead against hers. Nights where no one talks down to you. Nights where you aren't someone's shadow. Anna swallowed hard. I didn't realize how much I let myself fade. You didn't fade, Luis whispered. You were hiding your light for people who couldn't handle its warmth. Anna's breath trembled. What if I'm not ready for all this? The wealth, the expectations, the attention? Luis smiled. Then I'll walk every step with you. No pressure, no rush, just us. Her eyes softened. Luis, how long have you loved you? He finished gently. Anna nodded. Since the day you patched my ripped jeans and apologized for charging me $20, he said with a soft chuckle. I knew then you weren't like anyone else in this city. Anna laughed, wiping her eyes. Wow, I didn't know you were a billionaire. That's exactly why I knew you were the one. The dance ended slowly, gracefully. Guests erupted into applause as Luis lifted her hand and kissed it like an old-school gentleman. Jason leaned toward Shia. Do you think they're going to have the wedding soon? Shia grinned. The way he's looking at her? I'd say yeah. But before they could tease more, the hotel manager hurried over again, this time smiling instead of terrified. Mr. Lewis, Miss Anna, we've prepared a private rooftop space if you'd like fresh air. The city looks beautiful tonight. Lewis looked at Anna. Want some quiet? Anna nodded. Yes, but take my kids too. I want them with me. So the four of them, Anna, Luis, Jason and Shia, stepped out of the ballroom and toward the elevators. A new family, a new beginning. But what awaited them on the rooftop wasn't just peace, it was a moment Anna never expected. The elevator doors slid open with a soft chime, revealing the rooftop washed in warm string lights and a quiet breeze brushing across the night sky. The city stretched out around them, skyscrapers glowing, traffic humming far below, the kind of view that makes even heavy hearts feel a little lighter. Anna stepped out first, her breath catching. This is beautiful. Luis smiled, hands in his pockets. I wanted you to see the city from above for once, not from the sidelines. Jason and Shia exchanged a glance. Yeah, this man was absolutely in love with their mom. They walked farther out, stopping near a small seating area decorated with candles. A hotel staff member bowed politely and left them alone. For the first time that night, it was quiet. Really quiet. Jason slid his hands into his pockets, looking awkward in the soft glow. I meant to say this earlier, but Mom, I don't care if we're not blood. You're my mother. Always. Always. Anna's eyes softened. And you will always be my son. Shia grinned teasingly. And I guess that means I get a big brother. Not bad. Jason smirked. Just don't boss me around. I'm older. Oh, please. Shia laughed. I'm bossy by nature. Anna laughed, really laughed, and for the first time in so long her smile wasn't strained, wasn't heavy, it was free. Luis watched her with quiet pride, then stepped closer. There's something else I wanted to show you. His tone shifted, gentle, serious. Anna blinked. More surprises? One more, Luis said, and this one belongs to you. He nodded at Shia. Shia reached into her bag carefully. Mum, before tonight, I went through everything I had from my past, what little I remembered. And I found this. She pulled out a small, weathered envelope. Anna recognized the handwriting instantly. Her handwriting. A note she had written for her daughter the day she disappeared. Her breath hitched. She touched the envelope with trembling fingers. You kept this, she whispered. I kept everything, Shia said softly. Even the things I couldn't understand back then. Inside was a faded photo. Anna holding baby Shia in a hospital room, smiling like her whole world was wrapped in that tiny blanket. Anna pressed the photo to her chest. Tears spilled quietly. Jason stepped closer. Mom, you never told me about the note. Anna wiped her eyes. I thought it was lost forever. Some things find their way home. Shia hugged her tightly. I was afraid you wouldn't want me anymore after losing me, after building a life with Jason. Anna's voice cracked. Oh, sweetheart, I never replaced you. I just couldn't survive losing love twice. You were always in my heart. The rooftop went still. The lights, the city, the night, all of it wrapped around them like a blessing. But then, a sudden noise echoed from behind them. The rooftop door slammed open. Security guards rushed out, tense. The manager followed, pale. Mr. Lewis? Miss Anna, he called breathlessly. There's a problem downstairs. Luis's posture stiffened. Anna stepped closer to him. What happened? Luis asked sharply. The manager swallowed hard. It's Brianna. She's back. And she didn't come alone. Anna's heart dropped. Because trouble wasn't over, it was climbing the stairs. The rooftop door shuddered as voices echoed up the stairwell, angry, frantic, echoing in the hollow concrete shaft. The security guards stepped forward immediately, forming a protective wall in front of Anna, Luis, Jason, and Shia. Anna's breath caught. Brianna? She came back? The manager nodded nervously, clutching his tablet like a shield. Yes, and she brought her parents. They're demanding to speak with you. They've caused a commotion in the lobby. They're threatening to call the media. Jason groaned, rubbing his forehead. Dad always said her family had a flair for drama. Luis stepped forward, his voice low with quiet authority. We're not going downstairs. If they want to speak with me, they can be escorted out by security. Tonight is not their stage. But before the guards could respond, bang. The rooftop door flew open. Brianna's father stumbled through, first red-faced, sweating, and puffing like he'd climbed the Empire State Building by accident. Her mother followed, clutching her flashy purse like she was ready to smack someone with it. And then Brianna stormed in behind them, still in her engagement dress, mascara streaked, hair wild, and anger radiating off her like she was walking fire. There you are, she screamed, hiding on a rooftop like cowards. Security immediately moved forward. Mom, you are not permitted. Don't touch me, Brianna shrieked. Do you know who my father is? Do you know the companies we work with? Luis raised a hand. The guard stepped back instantly. What do you want, Brianna? He asked, voice calm but cold. She pointed aggressively at Anna. Here. I want here to apologize to me. Anna blinked, stunned. Me, apologize. Yes. You ruined my engagement, my reputation, my future. If you hadn't lied about who you were, if you hadn't pretended to be some broke seamstress, I wouldn't have said any of those things. Jason stared at her like she was a different species. Brie, you didn't say cruel things because she was poor. You said cruel things because you are cruel. Her father turned on Jason. You listen here. My daughter is still your fiancée and... No, Jason said firmly, she's not. Brianna's mother scoffed. The Lynn Group blacklisting us, fine, but you, she jabbed a finger at Luis, you can fix it. Remove us from the list or we'll sue. Luis actually smiled. Sue? For what? Consequences. Stonked closer until she was inches from Anna. Just admit you manipulated everyone, she screamed. Admit you pretended to be poor just to trap a billionaire. No normal woman ends up in some sewing shop unless she's plotting something. Anna felt Shia squeeze her hand. Jason stepped in front of his mother protectively. But Anna gently pulled him aside. No, she said softly. Let me speak. She looked Brianna in the eyes. I didn't pretend to be poor. I've lived humbly for years because it made me feel safe. I didn't want money to define me. I didn't want wealth to attract the wrong people. Her voice lowered. And now I see I was right to be careful. Brianna's face twisted. Oh, please, save the poetic speeches. You think you're better than us. Anna shook her head, calm and steady. No, but I know my worth now, and you don't get to decide it. Brianna lunged, but Louise stepped between them like a wall. You lay a hand on her, he said quietly, and the only place your family will be visiting tonight is a courtroom. Brianna's father paled. We didn't come to fight. We just want the blacklist lifted. Louise crossed his arms. Then apologize. Louis, he continued, not to me, to her. Brianna's jaw clenched. Her mother looked horrified. Her father looked ready to faint. No way, Brianna whispered. I'm not apologizing to her. Louis shrugged. Then you're leaving in handcuffs for trespassing, harassment, and disorderly conduct. Security stepped forward. Brianna's breath faltered. Her defiance cracked. Her hands shook. And finally, for the first time that night, her voice trembled. Fine, she whispered, I'll apologize. But everyone could feel it. This apology wasn't going to be simple or sincere. The rooftop wind hummed against the glass railings as everyone stood frozen, watching Brianna grapple with a word she'd never had to use before. Sorry. Her jaw clenched, her arms stiffened at her sides. Her eyes flicked between Louis, the guards, and her parents, desperation twisting her face. Her father hissed behind her, Just say it! Do you want us ruined? Her mother elbowed her sharply. Apologize now. Brianna inhaled through her teeth like she was swallowing bitterness. She stepped forward toward Anna, who stood still, calm, Shia and Jason at her side. Brianna's lip curled. She swallowed. I'm sorry. But the words were hollow, sharp-edged, spat out like poison instead of repentance. Anna nodded politely, though her eyes showed she wasn't fooled. Thank you, she said softly, but an apology without change is just noise. Brianna's nostrils flared. It's an apology. You just can't accept it because you're obsessed with playing the victim. Jason stepped forward instantly. Brianna, stop. She wheeled on him. I'm the victim. Do you think losing a $50 million partnership doesn't hurt? Do you think getting blacklisted from every luxury hotel and venue doesn't matter? My whole future is collapsing. It's collapsing, Jason said calmly, because you built your future on top of other people. Shia crossed her arms. Facts. Brianna glared daggers at her. Stay out of this. You're just some reunion prop who showed up at the perfect dramatic moment. Anna gasped softly. Brianna, she's my daughter. Oh, we know. Brianna snapped. And suddenly she's treated like royalty? Suddenly you're rich, you're important, you're invited everywhere? This is ridiculous. Louis exhaled slowly, controlled. You insulted Anna before you knew her identity, before you knew her money. That tells me everything about your character. Oh, spare me the moral lecture, Bob the Builder. Louise's eyes narrowed in a way that made her instantly regret speaking. Last warning, he said quietly. Her father immediately rushed in front of her. She didn't mean it, she's just emotional. But Louise wasn't looking at him. He was looking at Anna. Anna, he said gently, you taught me something in that tiny alteration shop. You said kindness only matters when you can't gain anything from it. Anna's eyes softened. She remembered saying that. Louise turned back to Brianna. That is why your apology means nothing. It's not kindness, it's fear. Her parents exchanged panicked looks. Chairman Louis, please, she's young, foolish. Surely you can reconsider the blacklist. Louis shook his head. No, actions have consequences. And some lessons require consequences. Brianna let out a frustrated scream. You can't do this to me. I built this engagement. I deserve respect, Anna asked quietly. Brianna blinked. Yes. Anna stepped closer, not aggressive, not trembling, just present. Respect is not bought, she said softly. It's earned, and you earn it by giving it. For the first time, her face showed something other than rage, fear, helplessness, and maybe a sliver of regret. Her father grabbed her arm. We're leaving. Security gently escorted them backward. Brianna kept staring at Anna, chest heaving, mascara streaked. Just before the door swung shut, she whispered, "You'll regret this, all of you." Silence dropped like a curtain. Abby exhaled shakily. Shia hugged her tight. Jason rubbed his temple in relief. Louise took her hands. "It's over." Anna wasn't so sure. Trouble rarely ends with the slamming of a door. Sometimes it becomes the echo that follows you. But for tonight, with her family around her, she allowed herself a moment of peace. Because something else, something beautiful, was about to happen next. The rooftop door finally clicked shut, leaving the chaos below like a storm fading behind glass. The city lights glittered around them, quiet, calming, like the universe giving Anna a moment to breathe. Shia was still clinging to her mother's arm, reluctant to let go even for a second. Jason hovered nearby, protective in a way Anna wasn't used to. And Louise, steady, warm. Louise stood close enough that she felt grounded just by his presence. For the first time in years, Anna didn't feel small. She felt held. "You okay?" Jason asked softly, stepping closer. Anna nodded, though her voice came out shaky. "I'm just realizing how much I missed moments like this." Shia's eyes softened. "You deserve them every day from now on." Jason cleared his throat awkwardly, glancing at Louis. So I was thinking, if you two are engaged now, does that mean I'm, part of the Lynn family?" Anna laughed gently. "Jason, you became part of this family the day I brought you home." Louis nodded respectfully. "And you're welcome in my family as long as you want to be." Jason smiled, shy, relieved, emotional. "Thank you, sir. You can call him Dad," Shia teased. Jason nearly choked on air. "Let's slow down a bit, okay?" They all laughed, really laughed, the kind that dissolves tension like sugar in warm tea. Then Louis turned to Anna, expression softening into something tender. "There's something else tonight needs," he murmured. "Something we didn't get to finish downstairs." Anna frowned. "What do you mean?" Louise glanced at Jason and Shia. "Kids, think we can borrow your mom for a second?" Jason smirked. "Borrow? Dude, she's the CEO of this whole moment." Let them have their romantic scene. Louise took Anna's hands and guided her toward the edge of the rooftop, where the lights of the city stretched endlessly below. "Anna," he began, voice low and full of feeling, "you spent years shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. You let cruel people tell you who you were. But I've watched you quietly and loudly take your power back tonight." Anna's throat tightened. "Louis, I love you," he said simply. "Not because you're strong, not because you're kind, but because even when you're scared, you still find the courage to care for others." A tear slipped down Anna's cheek. Louis brushed it away with his thumb. "You don't need a crown or a title to be incredible," he smiled. "You're already the bravest woman I know." Anna felt her breath tremble, years of heartbreak turning into hope. Behind them, Jason whispered to Shia, "Wow, he's laying it on thick." Shia whispered back, "Shh, this is romance, not ESPN." Louise continued, never breaking eye contact with Anna. "So tonight, let's start the life you were supposed to have all along, with love, with family, with respect." He gently lifted her hand. Then he reached into his pocket and pulled out a ring box she recognized from earlier, but hadn't seen him open. Louis opened it now. A simple, beautiful ring sat inside, nothing flashy, just elegant and real. "Anna," he said softly, "will you be my wife?" Her eyes filled, her breath hitched, and she nodded, not out of fear or desperation or loneliness, but because she finally believed she was worthy of being loved openly. "Yes," she whispered. "Yes, Louis, I will." Jason raised both fists in the air. "Let's go!" Shia squealed. Finally! They rushed forward, wrapping Anna and Louise in a messy, emotional family hug. Under the warm rooftop light, Anna realized something she'd forgotten. Hope doesn't always come gently. Sometimes it arrives after everything breaks. And tonight, everything broken was finally healing. The rooftop lights flickered softly as the group hugged, arms tangled, faces pressed close, laughter spilling into the night air. For a moment, it didn't matter how messy the day had been. It didn't matter who had insulted whom, who had stormed out, who had tried to break Anna's heart. What mattered was this moment, this warmth, this family. Anna pulled back slightly, brushing a tear from her cheek as she looked at her children, one born from her body, one born from her heart. "You too," she whispered. "You're my miracles." Jason sniffed and looked away. "Mom, come on, you're going to make me cry in public." Shia elbowed him. "Too late. You're already leaking, big bro." Jason groaned. "I hate you." "You love me," she shot back. "Whatever." Louise laughed softly, wrapping his arm around Anna's shoulders. "This rooftop needed that energy. Feels like a family already." Anna leaned into him. "It is." The manager poked his head out from the rooftop doorway, tentative, cautious, like someone approaching a sleeping bear. Mr. Lewis? Miss Anna?" "The ballroom guests are asking if you'd like to continue the celebration. They're in very high spirits." Jason smirked. Translation: "They're nosy and hungry." Shia grinned. "Let's give them a finale they'll never forget." Anna inhaled, steadying herself. "Yes, let's go downstairs." Louise lightly squeezed her hand. "Ready?" Anna nodded. "More than ever." And when they stepped back into the ballroom, the room erupted. People jumped to their feet, clapping, cheering, some even whistling like they were at a Super Bowl halftime show. Staff members lined the walls, smiling. Even guests who had been judgmental earlier now looked touched, humbled. One older woman shouted, "Congratulations!" Someone else yelled, "Now that's real love!" A guy near the back whispered, "Man, I wish my life had plot twists like this." Anna covered her mouth, overwhelmed. She wasn't used to this. Applause meant for her. Respect meant for her. Louise lifted their joined hands. "My fiancé!" he announced proudly. The room roared. Then something unexpected happened. The hotel DJ, who had been waiting for some cue all night, clicked on a soft, elegant melody. A new one, a quieter one, a song meant not for spectacle but for renewal. Louise turned to Anna. "One more dance?" She nodded, heart full. "Yes, but this time, let's make it ours." The crowd parted like warm water as the two of them stepped into the center. Jason leaned toward Shia. "You know, I've never seen my mom blow like that." Shia smiled. "It's because she finally stopped hiding." The music swelled. Anna rested her head against Louise's chest. He held her like she was something precious, something unbreakable. Whispers drifted around the ballroom. "She deserves this. She went through hell. She's stronger than anyone here." But Anna only heard one thing, Louise whispering in her hair, "You're home now." And for the first time in years, she believed it. The music softened into gentle piano notes, drifting through the ballroom like a warm embrace. Louise held Anna close, swaying slowly, his chin resting lightly against her hair. Every movement was tender, deliberate, like he wanted her to feel exactly how precious she'd become to him. Anna breathed in deeply, letting the moment soak into her bones. For the first time, she wasn't shrinking, wasn't apologizing, wasn't surviving, she was living. When the song ended, the applause rose again, gentle, appreciative, not demanding anything of her, just celebrating her. Jason stepped up first, rubbing the back of his neck awkwardly. Mom, I know everything happened fast today, but I just want to say I'm proud of you." Anna cupped his cheek, smiling softly. "You stood up for me tonight. That means everything." Jason swallowed hard. "I should have done it sooner." "But you did it when it mattered," she whispered. Shia slid in between them, wrapping them both in a sudden hug. "Groot squeeze, no crying, we're doing happy tears only." Jason groaned dramatically. "You're 5 minutes older than a Hallmark card." Shia grinned mischievously. "And you're built like an apologetic golden retriever. Big, bro." Anna laughed, really laughed. It echoed lightly, warming the room. Louise stepped beside them. If it's all right, I'd like to say something too. The crowd quieted. The lights dimmed. He took Anna's hand again, this time holding it like a vow. Anna has taught me more tonight than I learned in all my years running my company, he said. She taught me that strength isn't loud. Sometimes it looks like gentleness. Sometimes it looks like healing. Sometimes it looks like choosing kindness when the world gives you every reason not to. The room melted into silence. She made a home out of broken pieces, he continued. A mother's heart, no matter how bruised, keeps giving. Anna's eyes shimmered, her throat tightening. Louis, he turned to Jason and Shea. And you two, you're not just part of her story. You're part of mine now too, if you'll have me. Shea beamed. Absolutely. Jason nodded, smiling shyly. Yeah, we'd like that. Louis exhaled, humbled. Then, out of nowhere, a hotel staff member wheeled in a large, multi-layered cake, the words, "Congratulations," Anna and Louis piped in elegant frosting. The ballroom cheered. Anna blinked, stunned. "Louis, did you?" This was the staff. The pastry chef poked his head out from behind the cart. "Mum, we all saw what you went through tonight. This is on the house." Anna's hand flew to her mouth. No humiliation, no insults, just kindness. It hit her deeply. As guests lined up to congratulate her, she felt something inside her settle, something that had been shaking for years. Jason leaned close and whispered, "Mom, I think people finally see you." Anna squeezed his hand. "They see us," she corrected softly. Shea nodded. "A family, a real one." And for the first time, Anna didn't fear what came next, because whatever waited for her, joy or challenge, she finally had the strength to face it, with love beside her and family behind her. The ballroom gradually shifted from applause to warm chatter as guests mingled, offering congratulations and hugs. Anna moved through the room like someone who had finally stepped into her own skin, still humble, still gentle, but no longer afraid to be seen. Louis stayed close, not hovering, just present, like a quiet anchor holding her steady. Jason grabbed 2 glasses of sparkling cider from a passing waiter, handing one to Shea. "You think Mom's going to get used to being the center of attention?" Shea smirked. "Give her 2 weeks. She'll be telling everyone to sit down so she can fix their posture." Jason snorted. "That tracks." Anna overheard them and shook her head, laughing. "I raised comedians, apparently." "You raised survivors," Louise murmured beside her, "and you survived too." Anna's expression softened, eyes drifting to the tall windows where the city lights shimmered. "For a long time, I just kept going. I didn't even know if I was really living or just staying afloat." Louise touched her hand lightly. "Tonight you started living again." She squeezed his fingers. "Because I'm not alone anymore." Just then, an older woman, one of the guests who had seen everything unfold, approached Anna with a gentle smile. "I hope you don't mind me saying this, dear," she said, "but watching you tonight reminded me that kindness is still powerful. Don't ever lose that." Anna felt her chest wobble. "Thank you. That means more than you know." The woman touched her arm. "And don't be afraid to take up space. You've earned it." As she walked away, Shea leaned in. "She's right, Mom. You spent years letting others dim your light. It's your turn to shine." Anna looked at her daughter, her long-lost child, and her heart warmed in a way she hadn't felt since holding her as a baby. "Shea," she whispered, "having you back, it feels like a piece of me was returned." Shea's eyes welled. "I'm never leaving again." Jason wrapped an arm around both of them. "Yeah, and if anybody tries to mess with our family again, I'll handle it." Shea raised an eyebrow. "You? Handle it?" Jason puffed his chest. "Hey, I've grown." Anna laughed softly, kissing his cheek. "My brave boy." Then, from across the ballroom, a soft melody began to play, a slow, nostalgic song from decades ago. One Anna used to hum while rocking Shea to sleep. Louis must have requested it. He stepped forward, extending his hand. "Anna, dance with me again." She nodded, slipping her hand into his, and they walked together to the center of the room, this time without nerves, without fear, without looking over their shoulders. As they swayed, Louise whispered, "I want you to remember something." Anna looked up. "What's that?" "You don't have to fight alone anymore." "Not ever." Anna rested her head on his chest, letting his words ease into her heart. For the first time in years, her heartbeat felt peaceful, steady, safe. Her family was whole. Her future was hopeful. Her heart finally rested. And somewhere inside that quiet moment, something beautiful bloomed, the belief that she deserved every bit of joy she was receiving. As the slow song drifted to a gentle close, Louise spun Anna softly, guiding her back into his arms with a tenderness that made half the ballroom melt. When the music faded, the guests applauded again, gentle, respectful, supportive. Anna blushed, covering her face. "Oh goodness, I haven't danced this much since." "Since you were young and reckless," Louise teased. Anna grinned. "I was never reckless." Shia laughed loudly. "Mom, you sewed your neighbor's wedding dress in one night using a broken machine. That's reckless," Jason added. "And you once chased off a landlord with a broom." Anna gasped. "He was trying to overcharge us." Louise lifted her hand and kissed it. "See? A warrior." "We've prepared these as a late-night snack for the guests," he said, "but the chef wanted to offer these to you first." Anna blinked. "Me?" "Yes, Mom." He smiled. He said, "A woman who survives storms deserves sweetness." Anna covered her heart. "That's beautiful." Louise leaned in. "He's right." The ballroom slowly shifted into a softer, cozier atmosphere. Guests laughing quietly, glasses clinking, the night wrapping itself in gentle closure. Just then, the hotel manager approached again, this time smiling warmly instead of nervously. "I just wanted to say," he began softly, "that in all my years working here, I've never seen a night like this. You showed everyone what true grace looks like." Anna's eyes glistened. "Thank you. And," he added, "we'd be honored if you held your wedding here at no charge." Anna's jaw dropped. Louis raised an eyebrow. Jason choked on his pastry. Shia whispered, "Mom, say yes." Anna shook her head quickly. "Oh no, no, I can't let you do that." Louis gently touched her arm. Yus gently touched her arm. "Anna, let people give to you." "It doesn't make you a burden. It means you touch their hearts." Anna inhaled, steadying herself, and nodded. "Then, yes, thank you, truly." The manager bowed slightly. "We'll be ready whenever you are." He walked away smiling. Shia squealed and hugged her mother again. "Mom, your wedding is going to be gorgeous." Jason shrugged. "As long as there's food, I'm good." Anna laughed. "I should have known." Louise gently turned her toward him. "You deserve a wedding filled with love, not fear." Anna rested her forehead against his. "With you, I'm not afraid anymore." He kissed her, soft, warm, grounding, while the ballroom quietly cheered. As the night reached its final moments, people began to leave with joyful goodbyes. The Lin Group chauffeurs waited outside to escort guests home. Everything felt calm, warm, complete. Jason stretched. "Mom, ready to go home?" Anna looked around, at the ballroom where her life imploded and rebuilt in the same breath. "Yes," she said softly, "but this time, home feels like more than just a place." Shia wrapped her arm around her mom. "It feels like family." Anna smiled, deep, peaceful, certain. Exactly. They stepped out into the cool night air together, a mother no longer afraid, a daughter returned, a son redeemed, a man who loved her fiercely. And Anna whispered to herself. The cool night breeze brushed against Anna's face as she stepped out of the hotel doors, her family close behind. The city lights glittered like tiny stars across the skyline, warm, familiar, and somehow less intimidating tonight. For the first time in years, Anna's heart felt light. Not because life was suddenly perfect, not because everything magically fixed itself, but because she finally believed she wasn't walking alone anymore. Jason walked on her left, hands in his pockets, trying to look calm but failing miserably. His eyes were still red from everything that had happened. "Mom, I know I messed up before, but I swear from now on I got your back, always." Anna nudged him gently. "I know, sweetheart, and that's all I need." Shia walked on her right, looping her arm through Anna's. "And I'm not going anywhere either." "You're stuck with me." Anna kissed her forehead. "I wouldn't have it any other way." Louis exited last, quietly locking his fingers with Anna's. His presence felt like warm shelter, steady, unwavering. "You know," he said softly, "tonight wasn't just an engagement party." Anna raised an eyebrow. "No, it was the night you became whole again." Her breath caught, and a tear escaped before she could stop it. Louis swept a thumb under her eye. "No more crying alone, I promise." Anna leaned into him, letting herself accept the support. Jason groaned dramatically. Okay, can the new lovebird stop making me emotional? I'm allergic to feelings." Shia snorted. "You cried like 8 times tonight. You cried like 8 times tonight." Jason pointed at her. "Lise." Anna laughed, bright, warm, free. "Both of you, hush, we're going home." They walked toward the waiting car, all 4 of them moving like they'd been a family forever, even though they'd only just found their way back to one another. Before getting in, Anna paused and looked back at the Grand Hotel, the place where she was insulted, belittled, humiliated, and the same place where she reclaimed her voice, her dignity, her family, and her future. Funny how life works. She took one deep, grounding breath. "Goodbye to the past," she whispered. "Hello to my new beginning." "Your new beginning is right here, Anna." She stepped inside, not as a maid, not as a seamstress, not as a woman hiding behind broken pieces, but as someone finally ready to step into the life she deserved. As the car pulled away, Anna leaned her head on Louis's shoulder, Jason and Shia joking in the back seat, the world outside slowly fading into the glow of streetlights. It wasn't easy, it wasn't neat, it was real, messy, painful, and beautifully hers. And as the city disappeared behind them, Anna whispered the message she wished someone had told her years ago: hope can rise even from the darkest times. If you enjoyed this emotional journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this story.